This week I wanted to dive a little deeper into understanding what it means to take up your cross. So here's what I learned. So the phrase take up your cross came straight from Jesus' own mouth. In Matthew 16:24, he said, "If anyone would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me." Now here's the key. When Jesus said this, he hadn't gone to the cross yet, not physically. So when his disciples heard this, they weren't picturing a necklace or a church steeple. They were picturing something brutal. The cross was an instrument of Roman execution. It was public, it was painful and shameful, and it was a death sentence. So when Jesus said, take up your cross, he was saying, die to your own way of life. Lay down your comfort and your pride and control and follow me, even if it costs you everything. It wasn't a poetic metaphor. It was a call to surrender fully and completely. Here's how we misinterpret it. Let's be real. We've all heard people say something like, oh, my boss is so awful, but I guess he's just my cross to bear. Or back pain is my cross in life. I think I've even said similar things at different times. But Jesus wasn't talking about general hardship or random suffering. He was talking about willing sacrifice, about choosing obedience even when it's hard, even when it costs us popularity, comfort, or security. Clearly, suffering for Christ is not equal to suffering from life's annoyances. Yes, God uses our struggles to shape us, but taking up your cross is voluntary. It's about laying down our own desires to live the life that Christ calls us to. So let's break it down practically. What does taking up our cross look like in real life? Here's a few everyday examples, and they're not easy. Choosing forgiveness over bitterness when we've been wronged, even though revenge feels good and justified. Standing firm in biblical truth, even when culture calls us hateful, outdated, or intolerant. Sacrificing personal comfort to serve others. Maybe giving up time or money or sleep to love someone in need. Letting go of sin that feels good but leads us away from Christ. Things like gossip, pornography, pride, greed. It's not about checking off religious boxes. It's about walking daily with Jesus. And sometimes that walk leads us uphill carrying a cross. Okay, so here's a real life analogy because we all love one. So picture this. You have been carrying a backpack full of stuff. It's your plans, your control, your I've got this mindset. Then Jesus walks up and says, follow me. But to follow him, you have to put that backpack down, and instead you pick up a cross. That cross might be heavy. It might make you walk slower and make other people stare, but it's also the only thing that leads to true life. For whosoever would save his life will lose it, but whosoever loses his life for my sake will find it. The beauty of this dying to self idea is that it's not just about losing something, it's about gaining everything: eternal life, purpose, peace, a relationship with the living God. Paul said it like this: I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. That is our goal, not to drag our cross through life grumbling, but to carry it willingly, joyfully, because we trust in the one we're following. Okay, so what does this mean for us, right? As new believers, this phrase can feel pretty intimidating, but here's what I'm learning, and maybe you are too. Taking up our cross is a daily decision. It's not a one-time act. It's waking up and saying, Lord, I want to follow you more than I want to follow myself. Some days we're going to do it really, really well, and other days we are definitely going to stumble, and that is actually okay. Jesus didn't say, take up your cross and be perfect. He said, follow me. And he promises to walk with us every step of the way. So if I had to sum it up in one sentence, taking up our cross means choosing Jesus over ourselves again and again and again, because we know that he is worth it. Until next time, guys, bye.